What's up, guys? This is Demetri Gorbachov. I am doing a late video review. It's a couple months late for Fall of Dominion, but I thought I'd give it a shot. I thought that my views may be a little different than other people, and that it may... I don't know. I was doing it because I was bored, and I like to put my input into the game. I think that I myself have helped change the game, helped shape it like many other people have. I give credit to everybody who's helped shape this game to what it was back in 2006 to what it is now. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the questions. What was the first MMO I played? RuneScape, of course. I mean, many people have played it, many people have learned from it, learned how to fight things, learned how to interact with other people, storylines, amazing things like that, and then player storylines, which is incredible. Fan gameplay, fan art, you know, the cool stuff, the stuff that helps the developers develop a really good game. What do I think missing in today's MMOs is, of course, the player sets the game, not what a developer creates. Anybody could create a character that will tell you the same thing over and over and over again, and tell the same player the same thing over and over and over again. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about quests. Yes, quests are fun. Quests are in every game. Every MMORPG out there. The thing about quests is I like them. They give you something to do if you're bored. You know, you get into it. It makes you see a story. But the thing that I hate about it is you don't have a choice to do a quest. Either you do a quest and you get your XP and you get your money, or you don't do a quest and you're just, you know, you don't level up, you don't gain experience, you don't get any money, you don't improve on your skills, you don't learn anything, you don't learn the storyline of the game. That's what I think is a very, very negative thing about quests. What's missing is the player. The player needs to set the future, the player needs to set the storyline, the player needs to set historical landmarks in the game to be written on the main website, in the forums, in videos, in recordings, in TeamSpeaks, Ventrilos, Skype, whatever you use. You, your friends, everybody in the game needs to decide the future. If you don't realize that how far the game has progressed because of the players, it's just unique. It's a little bit, not even 2% of the game is controlled. The only thing that is controlled are events that are set up by the community, and you don't have to take part of it if you don't want to. It doesn't affect the game. It doesn't affect. Yeah, lately, the past year and a half, the storyline has been improved by the game moderators, the developers, but only to develop Fall of the Dominion. And from there, they kind of kickstarted everybody to roleplay their way into Fall of the Dominion, let the Dominion fall, let the corporations lose their money, let everybody go to war, let everything just turn into chaos, like the Joker would say. Which existing game would you compare FOM to? Eve. Eve lacks player control. Eve lacks freedom. Eve lacks a lot of things that are very... Eve has a lot of things in the game that are very confusing, and only a few people get, that you learn over the course or a very long period of time. In FOM you do, but FOM it's easy to get. FOM, you have so much things you need to learn that you can learn in a little bit of time. Eve has very little things you need to learn, but it takes a lot of time to get the idea, to get the concept of it, which I dislike. Describe how I feel the aspect of the player control is special in Face of Mankind. The aspect of the player control pretty much is the player decides. The player thinks that you could do this, you could do that, which is good. However, there's some things in the game that you really can't do that can hurt the game itself, but if you control the economy, you control the economy. You control what other people think. You control who gets rank, who doesn't get rank. You can control anything you want. Literally. You can own the entire galaxy if it is possible for you to represent. What is my favorite thing about Face of Mankind? I'd have to say my favorite thing about Face of Mankind is the community. There's nothing like it. Everybody knows each other. If you make yourself noticeable, everybody will say, hey, look at that guy. He hasn't been on so much long in so many months. Hey man, how you doing? How you've been? These players might not like you. They may or may not like you, but the community still is very inviting. That's one of my favorite things, actually. The more I think about it, the favorite thing it is every time a new player appears, everybody invites him into the game. It's like, let's say you have a piece of gold in real life. Well, that piece of gold is worth a lot. In FOM, that new player is worth more than gold itself. That's how I like to put it. That's how I like to interpret it. A new player in FOM is a new opportunity to more people get the word out. He can bring his friend, his brother, cousin, any relative, mom, dad, sister, whatever you'd like to put it. That's my favorite part about the game, is that we value new players. The community values new players. The developers value new players. Not to spend money, not to see themselves as, I'm talking about like the new players, to see themselves as, I don't know honestly. I'm gonna go to the next question. Describe the best experience you ever had in Face of Mankind. The best experience I ever had was when I started to get into the game, and when I started to see that the game is something more than just a shooter, more than just getting money, more than just a payout every 24 game hours. I was in the military faction, the FDC, Freedom Defense Corps at the time. During the time, the FDC was a very player-inviting faction. It made you learn the ropes about the game. And if need be, you would go out into the world by yourself and decide what you wanted to do. You needed to figure yourself out. That's what I like. That's my best experience, is when you start to play the game, you develop an interest in the game, and you see how things are controlled, see how things are. It takes a while, but who cares? You like it. It's fun. Anybody can do anything. It's amazing. Do you remember your first day of Face of Mankind? Well, of course I do. My first day, I was thinking how awesome it was being in cloning, listening to the music, watching all these people come in and out of the vortex, the vortex nodes, walking around, going to the vortex gate, which is the item you use to travel each individual colony. That was my experience, my first day. I really loved it. I really liked that I was invited. It was very inviting. From there, you got a very warm feeling that this game is something of its own. There's nothing like it. Finally, the last question: how can the player shape the world facing Mankind? How can the player shape the game facing Mankind, or the world facing Mankind, nonetheless? They could shape it however they want. Each individual player. You could see choice A, the best solution, or choice B is the best solution. That's on you and everybody around you. The players shape it as something they see, something they look up to, something that they support. It's kind of like modern day political parties, pretty much. That's the way I see it. That's what I love about the player control. Players can shape a better world, a better game, a better community, better than any communicationist that somebody may hire to make their game more inviting for new players or more appealing. how they attract new people, new players is young boys with, you know, the explicit content, which show half naked women, guys running around with their shirts off to attract maybe the girl players. You guys know what I'm talking about. You see boobs on the screen, you gotta play the game. That's the way everybody is. You guy or girl, you see boobs, oh, this game's hot, I want to play it. Well, guys, that's as much as I have to say. It's not as yeah, I stuttered, yeah, I was off track a little bit, but hey, everybody has their own point of view, and I just hope you guys learned a lot from it. I'm Demetri Gorbachov. No, not Mikhail Gorbachev. I will not tear it on your wall. I really like this game. I think you guys should take a look into the trailers. Yeah, you can't play. I could play it because I was a player before the game was shut down. Like I said, I'm Demetri Gorbachov, and well, you decide. That's all I have to say with that. And like